Hey, my name is Zoe. I'm an undergraduate scholar at the Voinovich School of Leadership and Public Affairs. I work in communications. This is my first video blog, hopefully the first of many, and I want to share with you my experience with Startup Weekend that happened October 18th through 20th. The first question is, what is Startup Weekend? Startup Weekend is a global grassroots movement of active and empowered entrepreneurs who are learning the basics of founding startups and launching successful ventures. It is the largest community of passionate entrepreneurs with over 400 past events in over 100 countries around the world since 2011. What drew me to the Voinovich School was the do-tank attitude, the cutting edge, the uniqueness. That's why I was extremely excited to be able to cover Startup Weekend because of the real-world experience of creating a business, and obviously in a very accelerated time period of just 54 hours. As an observer of Startup Weekend, I felt the energy and excitement of the participants when I arrived on day one. To kick off the 54-hour weekend, participants had the opportunity to pitch their idea and product in a 60-second pitch fire. They had to answer who they are, what their product is, what they're trying to solve, and who they need to solve it. By popular vote, only 8 ideas were selected. Participants then were encouraged to join a team and begin their weekend. Here are some teams discussing their startup ideas.
We are trying to find a way to link alumni with students who need textbooks. Right now, we're just trying to outreach to the alumni and the students and say, are you interested in our idea? Do you want to use our service? We hope we get good feedback, and we're working on our business model to have the best possible pitch by Sunday.
So the idea is to create an app that allows people to professionally record and edit their videos. So all the edits that they see on TV, they can do within an app on their mobile device. So they can record and also edit. They don't have to sit in front of a desktop computer for 15 hours.
Some startup ideas had other target markets in mind. For example, the Human vs. Zombies game. This team is working on creating Nerf-style blasters designed for adults. My question as the observer is, how do we know that this new Nerf blaster is the solution? Anna Jensen, Associate Director of Ohio University's Innovation Center and facilitator of Startup Weekend, answers my question by telling me the purpose behind Startup Weekend.
The whole weekend is about is, having an idea and then testing it, right? So you have a hypothesis, you've got to test it to see if it's true. And that even goes back to the initial part of I have a problem, I think there's this problem, and that's my business is the solution to that. Well, you just think there's a problem. Now you've got to prove that there's a problem. And then you've got to prove that your solution is the solution to that problem. And you have to prove that it's of value that people will pay for.
And that's what the Nerf Blaster team did. I attended a Human vs. Zombies meeting where they administered surveys to support their hypothesis. One of the many advantages to Startup Weekend are the great resources available. For example, the diverse professionals, also known as coaches. Anna Jensen describes what it's like to work with some of the coaches.
One coach would make suggestions or ask you a question that's like, wow, what a great idea. I want to go work on that right now. And then another coach would come in. And so they had to take really good notes. And then after seeing 6 different people, sort of wade through it all and see what really made sense for them.
And from an outsider's perspective, it looked like the teams were overcoming these challenges through efficient and diligent work. As the end of day 2 drew closer, teams were perfecting their preparation and presentation material for judging on day 3. At the end of the 54 hours, each team will present their MVP to a panel of judges and experts in the area of business in order to win to $1,600 in prizes, a 6-month membership to the Innovation Center, and a 1-hour business consultation with the Chief Operating Officer, Matt Strader of Imager. In the beginning of day 3, Jennifer Simon, the director of the Innovation Center, discusses what's next.
Teams met with their coaches this morning, and they were able to provide feedback on what their minimal viable product is. That's what they'll be able to produce very quickly, and also their business model. So they all met, and now they've been spending their time working on developing their final presentation.
The time everyone was anticipating has come and gone. Teams prepared and presented their final minimal viable products. Now the judges are deliberating. John Rossi, a global coordinator of Startup Weekend, has some closing remarks.
Talk, share, and recruit early and often, right? Talk about your product. Don't be afraid to say, well, if I give my secret away or if I give my idea away, someone else is going to steal it. So how many different versions of the chair are there?
Next, John announces the 3 first-place teams. In third place, Ford It, a platform for budgeting. The Nerf Gun Blaster came in second place. And the winners of this fall's Athens, Ohio Startup Weekend is AMPM.
These guys did a good job. This is only the second time this is my 20th event that a team of 2 has won a competition. So it's a big disadvantage for these guys competing with teams that had more than 2, obviously.
I think the team that won it, that's what I liked about them, is that they got a very clear and niche, different approach, which is the construction industry, and we're looking at business-to-business type software, which is, there's more value to that, there's more money you can get from that, more income potential, rather than just going to B2C, business to consumer, which is what most of the programs were focused on. So I think that was one of the reasons they won it, is because their value proposition to the particular target audience was probably a little stronger.
Regardless, though, we're going to work on it after.
In the next few months, I'm planning on doing a follow-up with those teams that have decided to go forth with their business to see how they've progressed, what resources they were able to utilize, and at what stage they are in actually implementing to put their product into the market. The most important takeaway I learned while observing Startup Weekend is, it's not about winning, it's about the learning process and taking an idea and growing it into a viable business and doing it in an extremely short period of time.
The participants have learned how to take an idea and turn it into a business idea. And they've been able to identify how to very quickly validate with other potential customers or target markets that they have through surveys, going directly to people and asking them questions. I think that is the really important part about building a business, especially for startups, is not dealing with what's the product first, but more importantly, what do customers want.
Anyone can be a part of Startup Weekend. You don't need an idea, a pitch, or even a team. All you need is the desire to learn about the business model and entrepreneurship.